What's up, family? Welcome back to Truthville, USA. I am Q, and I tell you what, I'm loving this right now simply because of the fact that we're finally getting answers. We're finally getting answers about Fani Willis, answers to questions that I've been trying to figure out all along. So what I'm going to do is buckle up. I'm about to take you through the scenario and answer a whole lot of questions that you probably already had. First off, the question that we had is why Fani? Out of all the great prosecutors in the state of Georgia, why Fani Willis? Okay, well, we now know that nobody else wanted it. Okay, so after seeing the case, nobody else wanted it. So the question was, well, all right, well, I mean, it seems to be a case. There was this phone call that was taped by Raffensperger, the Secretary of State there in Georgia, and one of his people, Jordy Fuchs, after listening to the call versus what was said about the call, totally different, right? But the phone call was still made. He still said, find me the votes. But no one ever asked the question. All the grand juries, all of the information that was put out there, no one ever asked the question, wait, hold on, who taped this anyway? Who taped that? Isn't that kind of weird? It would seem weird that you would be having a conversation with the President of the United States and you decide to tape the phone call. It just never quite made sense to me. So, you got all these prosecutors that want a piece of Trump. They know that if they can get something on Trump, it's going to skyrocket their career. So, but why is nobody else wanting to take it? There's clearly brighter options around than Fani. We now know that to be the case. So it turns out Georgia is a single party consent state, which means that if I call you, you could record me as long as one party knows that the phone call is being recorded. It is legal to do. But in Florida, it is a two-party state. Well, we now know that Jordy Fuchs was the one who, Jordan Fuchs, a lady, she was the one who recorded the call. But we also know that Jordan Fuchs was in the state of Florida when she recorded the call. I understand that seems like a small situation and a small issue, but often cases get thrown out for much smaller issues. Now, she was in the state of Florida, and so therefore she was supposed to have the consent of Donald Trump before she recorded that. She did not. Therefore, that phone call is completely inadmissible in court. And as far as that goes, the book that Fani Willis wrote is really not supposed to be issued because she can't prove that that phone call actually happened without having that phone call, which is illegal to begin with. So the question is, why? Why would Fani get it? Well, I go back to nobody else wanted it. They realized that without that evidence, they had absolutely no chance of a case. Most of them said even with the evidence, you don't have a case. He has every right to want to make sure that the votes that were counted were accurate. He had that right to do. But dig into it a little bit deeper, Fani was able to go to the judge and she was able to get certain things redacted out of evidence so as to protect certain sources. Well, in doing that, she redacted the information about where Jordan Fuchs was when she recorded this phone call. So the judge allowed her to redact these statements. I don't know if or if not the judge knew that that particular portion of the information was being taken out, or if it even existed. But that's what she did. So this explains why she would have gone up to have a conversation with Kamala Harris at the White House just less than a week before she actually filed the case against and the indictment against Donald Trump. I mean, Kamala is actually a whiz at hiding exculpatory evidence. In fact, she put several black people in prison in the state of California over drug charges, and then was presented with exculpatory evidence that they were actually innocent, but she hid that information to keep from having that blemish on her record. So she kept black people locked up in prison so as not to make her record look bad, so that she would one day have a chance to be president of the United States. That seems pretty hypocritical to me, doesn't it? So if you were trying to get away with hiding exculpatory evidence, committing a felony, who else better to talk to than your old mentor, Kamala Harris? Ties some pieces together, doesn't it? Comment below. I want to know what you guys think about this. I know this is a little bit longer, but this is huge, and I think that Fani will be done as a result of this. Make sure you guys comment below, like, share, subscribe. Be blessed.